In 2020 Visions, Alec, aged 80 in the year 2020, frail and half-blind, recalls his love affairs with three women in 1960, in 1980 and 2000. In this, the fifth of our presentations about the characters of the play, we meet Roz, a member of the care team that looks after him.
Ta-da! Your favourite sticky bun whatnots?
Oh, Roz, you're so good to me.
And the Aspen papers in large print.
It's a Venetian feast.
A what?
The Aspen papers. Venice. And the sticky buns too.
Oh,
what's up?
God, I'm 3 minutes late. She'll kill me.
Today's excerpts are performed by Georgia O'Reilly as Roz and Mansel David as Alec 80. I'm Maurice Thorogood, director of the 2020 Visions Project, and I'm discussing Roz with the writer, Paddy Gormley. So, Paddy, would it be fair to say that Roz is the odd one out of the characters?
I suppose she is, insofar as she's the only character who lives entirely in present time. Alec 80's in the present, but his mind is mostly fixed on the past, and his younger selves and their lovers are just visions.
And you've made her a member of a care team rather than Alec's sole carer.
As with his blindness, this was inspired by my mother, who was visited by 3 or 4 people a day for about 15 minutes each. I was very deliberate about wanting her to be a professional. I didn't want there to be any implication of some clandestine relationship between them. As a member of a professional care team, she would be bound by the strictures of her job. She would have to treat her client in a certain way, and he would be obliged to keep his side of the protocol. That was an important element of Roz, right from the start.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do. You're breaking your contract unless you act on the doctor's advice. They'll call off your care plan.
Report me then.
I'll have to. Unless you promise me.
What will they do to me?
They'll probably send Dr. Jean.
I've got no problem with that. I quite fancy her, actually.
You wouldn't fancy her if you knew what she's really like. She's got a filthy temper. Treats us like slaves, too. Please, take your medicine. For my sake.
But the dreams...
Tell you what, I've got some fantastic news, but I can't tell you unless...
The cataracts?
Medicine first.
It's practical from a theatrical point of view too. The fact that Roz comes and goes means that Alec is able to keep his visions to himself, without the constant embarrassment of being watched.
Except there's a wonderful moment where Roz finds him talking to himself in the presence of his ghosts. She can't see the ghosts, of course. Roz is the youngest character in the play, about 20 years old.
She's about the same age as Alec when he was first seduced by Belinda.
And that's my point. I'm always struck by the way she draws out Alec's youthful side.
I'm sure that's true. And I dare say her very presence makes him remember when he was 20. The happiest days of his life.
He's obviously devoted to her.
And she's devoted to him.
Their conversations are sometimes the starting points for Alec's visions.
Such as the time she comes in from heavy rain, reminding him of the day he found Natasha.
I really don't like that other girl, the short one. What's her name?
It's Sonia. She's only doing her job.
You're all wet.
It's tipping down. It was lucky I had my umbrella.
She's so abrupt.
It's not that easy. We're only allowed 15 minutes a visit and then we have to hurry on to the next person on the list. Rain or no rain.
I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm so glad you're back.
You've got me until Friday. And then it'll be Anna, the Polish girl. You like her very much. More than me, for all I know. Shall I make us some tea?
There's no one to match you, Roz. Are there any of those lovely Madeleine cakes?
Unless you've scoffed them all.
Sunny spells, they said, not this. Leaden skies and rain.
From my perspective as a director, Roz is a very important character because she keeps Alec grounded. Without her, he would just be talking to himself, and the audience might wonder whether Alec 80 was real or just another 2020 vision. She is real. She is the present. He can talk to her, and we know that everybody else that appears before him are the ghosts of his memory. She doesn't see them. He does. And she keeps us firmly in the present. Whenever we go to the past and we return again to the present, the room has to be exactly as it was when we left it. We're time travelling on stage. It's a wonderful experience.
You're absolutely right. This play would be greatly diminished if we didn't have Roz. Not really all that great a life for a 20-year-old going round from one old person to another all day.
If she's content and happy looking after people, what a wonderful, settled life.
Well, she's certainly a lovely character.
Yes, we can't go into the end of the play at all, but something happens to her. Certainly it's going to give her new thoughts. Is it a life-changing moment? I think it possibly is.
Well, of course, having brought her into the action, I'm enough of a dramatist in this stage of my life to know that there had to be a purpose for her being there. Yes. And she does become caught up in the story. Not in a hanky-panky way, absolutely not. But we hope that you will feel drawn to this story enough to want to find out how it is that she becomes caught up in it.
Betty Gormley and I have been talking about the character of Roz in 2020 Visions. That completes this part of the series in which we have been sketching character portraits. In the next presentation, we will turn our attention to the fascinating history of this script, which was largely written in 2001 and has undergone many transformations since then. And this is a very special announcement. Our wonderful leading lady, Olivia Busby, who has been with the 2020 Visions team every step of the way for the last 2.5 years, has started her own blog about the project. We're slipping her videos into our playlist from time to time. Remember her name, Olivia Busby. They've got a real buzz to them, so we're calling it the Buzz Blog. Watch out for it. If you're new to this blog, or if you've missed any postings, just go to our website, 2020.productions, where you can binge watch the series.